Live from Tijuana, Mexico. It's Thursday afternoon. I'm here with Tim. What's your name, Tim?
Tim Armstrong.
Okay, like this Saturday night.
So, yeah. This is
okay, good.
Right.
Now, what part of the world did you come from?
Originally from New York, but I live in wonderful California. So, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
God, so you went from one prison camp to the other.
Yes, I did. I'm
Now-
coastal.
Now,
Yeah.
did you have any trouble coming down to Tijuana?
None at all. None.
You're kidding.
None.
Okay, so it's easy to come down. Now you've been down here on and off the last couple of years.
Yes.
What'd you come down here? Like, what were you initially looking for?
My initial thought was to repair my body. I had some issues with my hips and my lungs, and I just came down to understand that there are alternatives to what they're doing up north.
Now, what do you think of the clinic? Have you had a good experience here? And
An incredible experience. This has been one of the most incredible. It gives you a sense of hope, and as opposed to hopelessness. And it's crazy because as long as you have hope, there's always I remember coming in and saying miracles, believe in miracles, or miracles can happen. So this is something totally foreign from what's going on up north. It's crazy. I love this place.
honest to goodness, this is like a clinic when I first started in practice, because it's like, small and it's fun. Okay.
Yes.
Now the team and everything down here, have you been around to the restaurants and stuff?
Yes, I have. The restaurants, incredible food. I mean, the experience is like out of this world. And I try to tell everybody that they need to come down here.
Yeah. Now north of the border, the medical system is like got a kibosh on social media, on the TV they own it, on the politicians they own it. How did you take charge of your own stuff? I know you're a lawyer and stuff,
Right. But
so,
what happens is you have to get to a place where you can't start relying on maybe people that have vested interests that aren't necessarily yours. And when you start understanding the dynamics, it becomes so amazing. It's eye-opening. In fact, I had an experience with a physician up north. She basically was looking at me. I said, "So, doctor, what happened to me? I was like a runner. I was an athlete prior to, and now I can't breathe as well." She looked at me and was very dismissive, and she said, "If you have a breathing problem ever again, come back to the emergency room and we'll get you to breathe again," and walk out of the
Okay, so if you have a breathing problem, just wait till it's really bad, then go to the emergency room.
Basically, that's what she told me.
That's nuts. That's nuts. There's no advice about like diaphragm,
Nothing.
breathing, nutrition, nothing. Yeah, and I mean there are good doctors and bad doctors,
Right.
but I mean there's a consistency of a disconnect.
Sure.
I'm sure she gave you a mask and then said, breathe through this.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so you took charge of your health. What made you have that strength? There's so many people out there, they're just abdicating authority and they're going along with whatever the heck the doctor says.
Unfortunately, I just knew that certain things are just counterproductive or just counterintuitive. They just don't make sense. So when they give you all these medicines, in fact, the same doctor, no, it's another doctor, basically told me that the reason I was having these problems is because I wasn't taking the medication as it was prescribed. And she just left. She said, "That's your problem." It's and so for her failure to properly diagnose me and treat me, she was blaming that on me. And I took offense and I just stopped talking because at this point in time, it's not, I say that's not her fault because she's a product of Big Pharma. So if everything is written towards Big Pharma, that's what she's doing and that's what she's accustomed to. You walk out with $300 worth of things that are going to maintain you, but it's not going to heal or fix you. So I get it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we do a health class. Okay, it's called an apprenticeship program every Thursday, and I talk about like just what you're talking about, pharmaceutically trained docs. So for every ill, they get a pill because there's not critical thinking taught in most schools. It's like, okay, you got to memorize or regurgitate. Okay, you got this symptom, you get this chemical, and that's ridiculous. I mean, it's leaving us with, one of the, number one, what they call it, first world nations or industrialized nations, and we're the sickest nation in that category. Although we spend the most. So you got to have common sense. One of the things, this is kind of cool. The doctors down here, and I was talking to a couple of medical doctors, and they're, similarly trained, but they say if there's something that works and it's working for your patient, it's working for your patient.
Good.
So look into it. So there's a lot more openness down here, and I like that. Instead of, the reason you're sick is you're not complying with the chemical regime. That's nuts.
That's nuts.
Okay, so what would you take? Because you're empowered. You're already kind of an aggressive guy. Attorneys are like that. I got a brother-in-law who's one. Okay, I love him. How could you? What advice could you give to people to take charge of their own health?
Unfortunately, what happens is from the first time we go to school, we're socialized in this system whereby we're supposed to become compliant. And compliance is a major factor in trying to rule people and control people. And what happens is if you somehow find that something that is going on just isn't right, just kind of keep it to yourself. Don't rock the boat. You know those terms, don't rock the boat. Don't question authority. And so sometimes we're let off, pardon the expression, we're let off the slaughter. It's like, did you hear that noise up there? Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Just keep on walking in line and be a good boy, be a good person. And so anytime you're gonna question something coming from this guy in this white coat, how dare you? And so as a result, you get to this place where you just say, well, I just don't know. And then you have these internal conversations with yourself, but to bring it up to a person that's telling you to do something that you know that is not going to help you, it's just crazy. So a lot of us, we just sit down and, well, we're going to just die. And it sounds crazy. That's why I go back to the hopelessness as opposed to having hope. And once you get to that point where you take charge and say, I'm not going to be a victim. You're going to utilize all the methods. If I have to go to a witch doctor, Eastern medicine, something, because there are some answers out there for us. But it's terrible. We live in a capitalist society. Capitalist society says you treat cancer one of three ways: chemo, radiation, or surgery. Those are the only options. It's like, are those the only options? And if you mention anything else, they're going to take people's licenses away. They're going to come under investigation. And obviously, those things, as we know, don't work. They're poison.
But buddy, Tuesday I had 16 videos wiped out.
Right.
And the weird thing, I did a TikTok video on it, and it was brain health. Okay, it was how to recover from Parkinson's. It was how to heal inflammatory bowel disease.
Wow.
Because, you can't talk about the injectables, okay? But now they're getting into where you can't give an alternative to like blood pressure or anything else. That's insane.
Right.
So you want to bring back critical thinking in the public?
Absolutely.
Okay, the pendulum's swinging way the hell over to one side. Okay, it's going to swing back. It's going to swing back to where, like the common sense and stuff that your parents taught you.
Right.
I was the ruler in Catholic school. I know to follow along.
Right.
But they also taught independence.
Sure.
And fantastic. If you're dealing with anything and you're going up and the doctor is a medication Pez dispenser, he's just giving you this prescription after prescription. Your body is intelligent. It gives symptoms for a reason. For goodness sake, trust it and find the source of it. Down here, and you didn't have any problem with the strip search or
No.
I know. Okay. When you're coming into Mexico, you barely slow down.
Yeah.
And everybody down here is cool. The difference with the military down here is you feel like they're protecting you. It's cool. Up there, it's kind of intimidating. Trust me. I'll bring you up there and you'll see.
Right.
Now, anything else you can tell people to just, break them out of that compliance?
Yes. I always suggest that look for answers. One of the best things I know that the doctors always say, take some rest. Take some rest and just allow your body to heal itself, because given enough time, that body will do amazing things. So I always think it's counterintuitive how you think about it. If you have something natural, and then you're going to inject something artificial into something natural, how does that work? It just looks dumb to me.
It is. We've had the chemical medical system,
right?
Okay, and you can call it because Rockefeller had an oil. Thought,
Right.
man, let's make chemicals out
Sure.
of it. Okay, for 120 years, and it's gotten us the sickest population in the world.
Right.
So it's time to go back. And everybody. Oh, there's one thing I tell you.
Okay.
If we got a patient that's taken a dozen pharmaceuticals, most I've ever seen is 32. I'll say, okay, you and me, we're stuck on a deserted island. We only have fresh fruit, fresh fish, fresh water to eat. You have no access to pharmaceuticals. Did your health improve or decline? 100% say improve.
Right.
And it's mind-boggling. So you have an innate intelligence. Your body is brilliant. Listen to it. And if your doctor is not listening, that your body is intelligent, responding correctly, find another doctor. Okay?
That was amazing. That's
God bless you, man. Okay, take care of yourself.
Yeah, right.